Good morning, children. I'm Jaisi, your teacher for SST this year. We're going to start with chapter 1, Globes and Maps. In this lesson, what are we going to learn? We're going to learn about the shape of the earth, how to use globes and maps, and the need for shapes, symbols, and colors on a map. So, these are the things that we're going to learn in this lesson. Now, have you seen a ship sailing away towards the horizon? What do you see? How does it look? What do you think happens to the ship when it reaches the horizon? Does it disappear? Or do you think it falls off the earth? What do you think happens to the ship? No, in fact, the ship gradually disappears at the horizon. And how does it disappear? First, you have the bow of the ship that disappears slowly. Then you have the rest of the ship which gradually disappears, and finally the mast of the ship that goes away further from our sight. So what does this tell us? This slow vanishing of the ship, it tells us that the shape of the earth is not flat and that it is round. It tells us that the earth is round. Did you know that in ancient times people actually believed that the earth was flat? And who proved it that it was not? So there was this Portuguese explorer called Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer who sailed around the earth and proved that the earth is round in shape. But the earth is not a perfect round shape. It is round like an orange, bulging at the top and bulging at the middle and slightly flat at the top and the bottom. So that is the shape of the earth. And it was Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer, who proved that the shape is round. So what is a globe? Now, the globe is a model of the earth. Globes are always mounted on an axle stand, and it is tilted because the earth's axis is tilted. Okay. Now, the extreme points of the earth at the in the northern hemisphere and at the southern hemisphere are called the poles of the earth. The region at the top of the earth is known as the North Pole, and the region at the bottom of the earth is the South Pole. And that is why the earth is tilted, because of the axis like I have shown in the picture. Now, like I said, globe is the model of the earth, and it accurately shows the distribution of the continents and the oceans on the earth. So what you see on the globe is actually how the the continents and the oceans appear on the earth. Now, there are some problems with the globe. What are these problems? It does not show the details of all the landforms. Where are the mountains, the hills, the deserts, the valleys? These things you cannot see on a globe. You don't get to see the location of small towns, etc. It does not show the entire earth at the same time. And big globes are difficult to handle and difficult to carry around because of their size. So it is better to have maps. Now, what are maps? Map represents the earth, and it is a drawing of the different parts of earth on a flat surface or a paper. Now, maps show specific details of areas, and it is convenient to carry. Now, what are the differences between maps and globes? Now, maps, we can draw the whole earth or we can draw a part of it, and it is on a flat surface. And globes, we cannot draw obviously the whole earth. You can draw the whole earth on a sphere. Maps are two-dimensional and they present the earth's surface, and it can show the entire earth at one time in detail, and it can be folded or rolled, and you can easily carry maps around. But you can't do that with the globes because it is a man-made model of the earth and it is three-dimensional, and it cannot obviously show the entire earth at one time, and it is difficult to carry around. Now, there are different types of maps. There are different types like the political map, the physical map, and thematic maps. Political maps show you the political features of a country, its states, capital, and major towns. Physical maps show landforms like mountains and valleys, etc., and water bodies like rivers and seas. Now there are various signs and symbols that are used in the on the maps that show different features. They show rivers, roadways, railways, temples and schools, etc. Okay, and you have a very important part of the map is the legend or the key, which is present in every map, and it helps us to understand the various symbols used on a map. Apart from the legends and the keys, you also have different colors of the map. Now, what are these different colors on the body of on the map that they show? They show different things. Okay, like the color green shows plain areas. Yellow represents deserts. Now, brown color is usually used for mountains and highlands. Similarly, blue is used to show water bodies. So you have different colors that are used on the map. Another important aspect that we use on the map are directions. Now you know that directions are very important to study maps, because otherwise how will we know in which direction to move? So how do we locate these directions? We use these directions to locate a particular place on the map. Now then, there are four main directions on a map, which you know obviously: the north, south, east and west. Apart from these, we also have the sub directions, four sub directions on the map: northeast, which is between north and east; southeast, which is between south and east; and southwest, which is between south and west; and northwest, between north and west. And the final thing that we use on a map is the scale. Okay, the map cannot be the exact representation of what we have on the earth's surface, so obviously it is scaled down. So what is a scale? It is a small ruler like symbol on the right hand side of a map, which is used to show the distances, the representative distances between places on maps. It is not showing the actual distances. Now the scale shows the ratio between the distance on the map and the real distance on the ground. Now this brings us to the end of this lesson, the end of chapter 1, globes and maps. What we have studied in this lesson is that the earth is almost round in shape, and we have different things like the globes and the maps that we use to represent the earth, and it helps us to understand and locate places on the earth. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you.